you people. This kid is guilty, and he's got to burn. We're letting him slip through our fingers here.
Oh, our fingers? Oh, are you his executioner?
I'm one of them.
I bet you'd like to be the one to pull the switch.
For this kid, you bet I'd like to pull the switch.
I'm sorry for you.
Don't start with me.
I wonder what it would feel like to be the one pulling the switch.
Shut up.
You're a sadist.
Shut up.
You know what? You want to see this boy die because you personally want it. Wow. Not because of the facts.
Shut up! Let me go! Let me go! I'll kill him! I'll kill him!
Oh, you don't mean you'll really kill me, do you?
The verdict is in, and the jury is back. Upon This Rock Productions proudly presents the return of the critically acclaimed courtroom drama, 12 Angry Jurors. September 25th through the 27th, experience one of the most powerful and thought-provoking productions ever to grace the UTR Dinner Theater, located in the lower level of the Strange Church. What begins as an open and shut case quickly becomes an emotional battle of truth, prejudice, mercy, and justice. As 12 jurors deliberate the fate of one young man, they soon discover that their own lives are on trial. Choose from show only or enjoy our popular dinner theater experience on Saturday and Sunday, featuring a delicious buffet meal served 1 hour before showtime. Tickets are on sale now. Reserve your seats today at utrpro.com/box office. Gather your family, friends, church group, co-workers, and neighbors for an unforgettable weekend of exceptional theater, outstanding performances, and conversations that continue long after the final curtain. 12 Angry Jurors. September 25th through the 27th. Presented by Upon This Rock Productions. The evidence has been heard, now it's your turn to be in the room. Get your tickets today at utrpro.com/box office.
This was deep, and if you missed it, you should come back and watch it again and really pay attention. Yes, there's some funny stuff, but really pay attention to what's happening. This needs to be broadcast because in our community, we need to see this. We need to talk.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, this is it. You've got the notice. It's the Upon This Rock podcast. Yeah, I know you were wondering, where's all the productions? What's going on? Well, don't worry. We're back. We're back. We're coming back in a great way. Just before I introduce all of our guests today, we've got a production that is about to happen in September 25th through the 27th. And a number of you saw it last year. And we've had rave reviews about it. And we're going to bring it back. That we're going to kick it off our fall series. But something happened. Oh, it was 12 Angry Jurors. How many attended that? Something happened after 12 Angry Jurors last year that we really didn't anticipate. The play ended. The verdict had been reached. The cast was finished. But the audience didn't leave. Wasn't that something? Of all of the performance we did, not one person left. Everybody was literally glued to their chair. And we entered into some dialogue, which we call table talk. Let's just talk about that experience. Sharon, Varon, Dr. Varon Cantrell was with us. He with Kyle Guyton Memorial Scholarship Fund. He's a part of what we're doing, one of the sponsors of 12 Angry Jurors for this year. And of course, you know, the executive director of Upon This Rock Productions, Sharon Thompson, is with us. Varon, the performance you made of 12 Angry, and you saw what happened after curtain, after we ended, we entered into some dialogue, and you shared there. What did you experience?
Wow, thanks so much for having me this evening. There were three words that kind of stood out to me as I was sitting there. I feel you. And what I mean by that is that this was just really an incredible opportunity for those of us who were in the audience to identify with one, if not all, of the characters in the production. It was intense, and I've been, involved with many of the UTR productions down throughout the years, either be a participation or actually as a patron. But this one just felt different at the end, and it was curtain call, and no one moved, and that's what really caught my attention. So yeah, that was big.
It kind of blew my mind. But you said something when you gave some remarks, and you were engaging in that conversation, and you said you were convinced that this was bigger than just simply presenting a play. You saw something deeper into it. Can you expound on that?
Yeah, I think what I really saw, because the time that we find ourselves in our society, many of us are challenged, some with our implicit biases, some with our past traumas, some with just stress, anxiety. Some of us are having a difficult time with decision fatigue. And seeing this portrayed, I think it was just overwhelming in the sense that I just kept saying, I can understand where this person is coming from. Oh, I really can understand where that person's coming from. Oh, I would be angry too, or maybe I would be passive in this situation. And I felt that this is something that in our community in particular that needs to be addressed, and that has to deal with our mental and emotional well-being. This is
Yeah.
something that we gloss over, and it's something that we don't want to talk about. Now, we are prayer warriors and we are believers. And at the same time, if there was no need for conversation, no need for therapists, then they wouldn't exist.
Wow. You got pretty animated uh, in that at the end, after looking at some of the characters and experiencing it yourself, which was prime example of how some of the other audience members. Sharon, you when you kicked right in there because you saw this, man, this is going on and on. I mean, this could be another hour or two because the people didn't want to go. They wanted to talk about this. Why?
Exactly. First of all, what we did at the end of the performances was not planned.
That's right.
And in theater speak, it was improv. We added that almost like an afterthought. However, once we started and we saw how engaged the audience was, at one point it ceased being about the performance and it became more about lived experience.
That's good.
The characters that are portrayed in 12 Angry Jurors, we know what the objective was, we know what the plot twist was in this story written by Reginald Rose. However, each of these individuals begin to experience and relive from a personal frame of reference their own anger.
Mm.
And what I perceive, if I cannot, just like with any movie we may watch, if I cannot, if I could not have fixed what happened to me when it happened in real time in
Hmm.
my life,
Hmm.
I start living that vicariously through these characters
Wow.
and through their story. And I believe that's what brought such a riveting um, engagement,
So did
for
you
lack of a
expect
better word.
Did you expect the audience to respond as strongly as they did?
I did not. I did not. However, once it was almost like a domino effect. Once one person began to open up,
Right.
because you have to understand this was very sensitive and
Hmm.
it opened up some personal spaces, but it lent itself to a sort of courage.
Mm.
One person shared their experience, and here comes another one. And so that emboldened the next person in a good way to speak. So it became, as Dr. Cantrell just alluded to, it became therapeutic right there
Wow.
in that room.
Wow. We're talking about 12 Angry Jurors, the upcoming performance by Upon This Rock. We're bringing it back this year, September 25th through the 27th, 2026 at the UTR Theater. It's going to happen again. You need to make sure you get your tickets. All the information's at the bottom of the screen. You got the QR code. You can scan it, and you can order your tickets before this podcast ends. Dr. Cantrell, what kinds of comments surprised you most from just listening?
One thing I would share just briefly, I recall UTR, the weekend, the production, the two of you would always say, come and
Yeah.
experience.
Okay.
This is an experience, the UTR experience, not the UTR play,
Mm.
the UTR experience, the production. And for me, I think this had truly become an experience, and it allowed people to maybe share, even in a larger environment, things that they otherwise wouldn't have shared. With some there was we learned stuff about people and their past depression and their
Yeah.
past anger and their hurt, and we didn't even know these people. Like most
Yeah.
of us in the room, we didn't know one another. But I think the way that it was presented, it it allowed us to experience those emotions, to experience those feelings, and then to be in a safe enough place to say, you know what? I have a problem that I've been dealing with, my anger for X, Y, and Z. I've had a problem with feeling rejected. I've had a problem with not fitting in, or I've had a
Mm.
problem with this other person and their perception, and they make me angry, and I don't know really how to handle my anger, and I've struggled with this. And I was just sitting there like, this has become truly a group therapy
It's
session,
therapeutic. Yes.
very therapeutic. And I'm glad it wasn't scripted. And that's what I'll say. I'm
Yeah.
glad it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pastor, may I add something to that?
Hmm.
I remember one individual in the audience. She was at that time 88 years old.
Mm.
Mm,
And she shared, because this story deals with a parent and a child,
Right.
or a young man, a teenager.
Hmm.
And she mentioned that she never knew her father,
That's right.
mm,
and that
Mhm.
even at 88, it was so moving. She still struggles
Wow.
with who he was and why she never had a relationship with him.
mm, mm.
So that's 88 years old, which lets you know this thing runs deep.
Yeah.
And when we start talking about anger and the things that anger us, anger does not exist in a vacuum. It
Mm.
becomes something else. If it's not controlled, it will turn into rage.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If it's not controlled, it will begin leaking out into resentment and bitterness, and therefore it will infect
Yes.
your other environments,
Yeah.
even people you don't even know.
That's
But
good.
you begin to release upon them because you're trying to get rid of this thing.
Right. Sharon, I remember us asking, did you recognize the personalities of maybe family
Mm,
members or friends and this one young lady that sat near the front, she got real transparent. She
Yes.
said, every one of those
All of them.
personalities I saw in me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm talking about, this is the level of intentional, deep digging emotions that was happening from this production, that she was willing to be that transparent and could care less what anybody said. I mean, people were brought
Yes.
to tears. I mean,
She
literally.
peeled the onion all the way
Yeah.
apart.
I saw me.
Yes.
I
Hmm.
saw me. And that's when you attend 12 Angry Jurors. It's more than a play. And you're going to enjoy it. There'll be some moments you're going to giggle, and some moments you're going to get real serious, and some moments you might get real mad, just to see how they interact with one another. Uh, but this is what caused the kind of dialogue that followed the production. And we're going to do it again. We call it table talk. We're going to do it again this year. And I want you to encourage as many family members, come on, friends, co-workers, anybody you know, drag somebody off the street and tell them you need to see this, and sit down with them. And I guarantee you, it was unscripted, Sharon. It was unscripted. We didn't tell everybody, don't leave your seat. We didn't say shut the doors. They were free to leave. The production was over. We just let them know we're going to talk a while. And they stayed. All of the performances, no one left. It's going to happen again. And Dr. Cantrell really encouraged us. He encouraged us. This has to happen again. And we need to get more young people involved. And especially
Yes.
from the fact that, Sharon, you mentioned that one of well, kind of the character in here, a part of the jury trial, was a young man who allegedly was on trial for murdering his father, right? And so that's where all the dialogue came from, and all the different information was happening. Sharon and myself are both cast members in the
Yes.
play. I'm juror number 8, and this year, Sharon, you're juror number 4.
Number 4.
Yep, yep. So we get a kick out of it. I get a kick out of it because Dr. Eric Yancey, who is
Oh my goodness.
juror number
Juror
3,
number 3.
ooh, the
Yes.
major antagonist. But y'all know Dr. Yancey from Up on This Rock. All right, the passion play. He knows how to get into character, and he does. And in one particular scene,
He owns it.
yeah, he owns it, and he and I have a confrontation. We're challenged, and I promise you, even through some of the rehearsals, I was kind of taken aback. I was like, "Is he for real or not?" You know, it's going to be good. What can I say? It's really going to be good.
And Pastor, I was just thinking, the original story, this original story, was titled 12 Angry Men, the
That's right.
same court case. However, and I appreciate this so much about the writer, he gave liberty to those that may reproduce or reenact the story to rename it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he gave those rights, and I appreciated that because we wanted to incorporate male and female,
Hmm.
and that was important. But this story was written in 1957,
Wow.
and it is still
Just as real
relative
today.
today.
Yeah, yeah,
So it
yeah.
lets you know how this has carried through the generations.
Right. So look, the whole setting and the scene is really, uh there are no intermissions for those people that don't like intermissions.
Right.
You get right to it. No intermissions, right? Uh on a Friday, the 25th of
Mhm.
September, it's show only. And but we're gonna have some snacks, might have some hot dogs or some other little treats that you can get. But on Saturday matinee and the Sunday performance, it's the real meal deal. You're gonna get some soul food. And that's $40 for the meal and the show, for Saturday matinee and the Sunday performance. And for Friday, the show only. I mean, if on Saturday or Sunday you just want to see the show, it's just $20, right? Is that what we have? I want to make sure I'm saying it right. So 25. Uh, I'm
It's
gonna put it
25, 25
25.
for
Thank you.
just the show.
That's why we have somebody else to back me up. 25 for show only, $40 for the show and the meal. And you just get the full meal deal. You're gonna enjoy it all. Okay, so Sharon and Varon, we've got 12 jurors, 12 people, 12 different backgrounds, temperaments, experiences, different ways of communicating, some older, some much younger, but they have one assignment. When you get a group of 12 people in a room, and both of you experience this, I'm sure, in your work life and otherwise, 12 people in a room with all these different personalities, and you got to come up with something productive, that's going to be
Have to
workable.
deliberate.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
what happens when 12 people who will probably never choose one another have to accomplish something together? Can we talk about that dynamic? You're
What
on.
comes out of it?
Right.
Or what I have seen in not only in this play, but just life in general, who we are
Yeah.
bleeds through. If that
Yes.
deliberation is of any substance, we're going to see who we are bleed through, whether we want it exposed or not. Our biases, and we see that in 12 Angry. We
Yeah.
see some prejudices. We see those that are perhaps of the same hue with their biases
Hmm.
because of where someone else comes from or how they speak, cultural biases, gender biases.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's all there.
You got your analytical
Mhm.
thinkers. You just got your casual, common sense kind of thinking, and all of these converge together to try to reach, and especially in a setting like this where it's a jury, and they've all got to agree to the same. Can you imagine what happens? I've gone to several jury calls, but I've never been selected. So I've never had the opportunity to find out what goes on behind it. Has either of you ever actually been in an actual jury?
Oh, I have. Oh
You
yeah.
have.
Hell yeah.
Any similarities here?
It's interesting. It's interesting. And you find that people will kind of link up. You have a click, and it was interesting because at the beginning, when you first get the paperwork and I'm reading through, I already formed in my head what happened. I already
Mm.
knew what happened. And then as to Sharon's point, as the deliberation started to take place, by the end, I was like, I can't believe I just did this. And I didn't feel pressured to do it. I
Yeah.
just listened and observed and I read. And one thing you said, Sharon, really quickly, I like to add to, you talked about one's like character, like your character is going to bleed through. The person you are is going to come out. I heard a man say, it was just like towards the end of the pandemic, as it started to kind of the public health crisis was deemed to be over. He said, people would say COVID brought made people change. It changed people and it caused people to do X, Y, and Z. And he grabbed a water bottle and he took the lid off that water bottle and he said, "What's in here?" And I'm like, "It's water." And then he squeezed it and water shot out. And he's like, "The water was always in there. COVID didn't make the
Wow.
water and COVID didn't bring the water out. It was always water." So what came
Wow.
out during COVID, what came out during this deliberation, it was always there. The bias you talked about, the prejudice you talked about, the gender issues, maybe even the politics. It was there. And so I think about the people within our spheres of influence and those that we see on a daily basis. Some of them are angels, right? Don't get it twisted. But the people that we see on a daily
Right.
basis, you never know where someone has been, what they've been through. So when they find themselves in a stressful situation, what's in there
Come on.
typically is going to come out.
Mhm.
Wow.
And the Bible it tells us that for out of the abundance of the
Abundance of the heart.
Mouth
there
Mhm.
you
speak.
go. And
Wow.
that is a line I learned in UTR many years ago, and I've held on to it. I found the scripture and I said, oh, literally from the production, one of the
Wow.
And,
soliloquies,
Wow.
literally.
and here's another point I would like to add, even in today's environment, especially the political environment, for those that do not have a voice,
Hmm.
that do not have a microphone, but they feel those things that we are speaking of right now, that anger, that bias, that prejudice, this racism. um, nobody caused them to be that way, but now they have a voice that speaks what their hearts are full of.
Wow.
And so that is coming out in this jury room with these
Hmm.
12.
Hmm.
If you have a spokesperson and it's something you agree with, I believe it is juror number, let me see, juror number 6, perhaps. The description was they will go with whoever spoke last. They
Mm.
will agree with the last
Yeah.
spokesperson. So it's those types of characters that we are dealing with. And so it is in life. There are
Mm.
those that are just waiting for someone to speak for them.
Yeah.
And if it's something I'm feeling, I'm going to agree with you, whether
And
I
then
know it's to be true or not.
and then there's the juror number 7, who was the Simon Peter, open mouth and church
Yes,
foot. You know,
yes,
he said
yes.
whatever he felt like. He didn't mind degrading anybody in the room, and in the challenge with that. But amazingly, no spoiler alert here. Amazingly, something shifts
Something
with that
shifts.
juror at the end
Mhm,
than it started in the
mhm.
beginning. And it's those kind of interesting things. Hey, look, y'all, we got some comments that's come in. Once my sister happened to be in town from Stone Mountain, Georgia last year, and she enjoyed it.
Wow.
Well,
Someone else saying, I'm looking forward to this. This is their first time actually being able to witness the production. So put your comments in there. We'd like to hear from you, your thoughts. Maybe you attended
yes,
last year and you've got some comments that you want to make. We would love to hear it. Dr. Cantrell, you were one of the people, again, who came away from last year's productions and essentially saying, we need to do more with this. And as a result of that, um, you being the chairman of the Kyle J. Guyton Memorial Group, and we happen to be board members of the same group, but you shared with us your emphasis uh, in making that statement last year caused us to think. And one of the ideas that Sharon surfaced with was a performing arts camp for youth. And all of a sudden, all of this began to converge, and the ideas and the thoughts that happen. But I want to just dig a little bit deeper in your brain, if you don't mind. I'm not a brain surgeon, but just tell me a little bit about what you were thinking in that moment
Mhm.
uh, about those that need to see this, and there's a reason why.
Yeah, in full transparency, because this is a safe space and that was a safe space. I was dealing with some anger and some things, related to the work that I do. And I could identify with almost all 12 of the folks who were up there in some regard. Um, and so when I think about when I was like, we have to do more of this, and I said specifically, our young people need to see this.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing that stood out to me was how can I truly express myself and be vulnerable and safe at the same time?
Mm.
Because those jurors, they took on those roles and they lived those bad boys out it's like if I didn't know this was a production and we were at like Cracker Barrel or Golden Corral or something, and this conversations with that, it looked real. And the reason why people couldn't move afterwards because they were processing their emotions. One of the challenges that our young people today have is the inability to process their emotions, the
Wow.
inability to collaborate and work together on something that's very, very difficult.
Mm.
Someone's life hanging in the balance. It's not it's as simple as flipping a light switch on or sending a tweet. It requires thoughtfulness. It requires collaboration. It requires disagreement, agreeing to disagree. It requires patience. It requires putting your pride in your back pocket. It requires admitting that you don't know it all, admitting that maybe you weren't right, or just admitting that someone else is right. So when I think about theater, and we'll talk a little bit more about that,
Hmm.
and the scholarship fund, and then this conversation and the need for a lot of our kids to be able to express their emotions or process their emotions, and then the community, this is kind of what we're doing with the scholarship fund.
Hmm.
So why not leverage this specific production as kind of a launching pad to help us to bring all of those things together so that we can begin to change individual lives, the kiddos, but more importantly, the families and the communities that are the backbone of our city and our country. So this is
Right.
so much bigger than it's not a
So
play,
much.
it's not a
It's an
production. It
experience.
truly is an
It is.
experience, and I'm not being hyperbolic right now.
Hmm.
I this is real talk, and so I'm an internist and a pediatrician, and I deal with mental illness like all the time. I see it in the clinic. I saw this earlier this morning. I was down in Bloomington seeing some patients, and this lady was she was very just having a really difficult time, but she needed to get it out.
Yeah.
And all I did was just listen. And I told her it's going to be okay. So, opportunity for us to engage, for us to listen and learn, for us to model, and for us to encourage and uplift and change communities.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So behind me, there's a quote on the wall by Frederick Douglass, and I'll just read it. It says, "It is easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men."
Wow.
Wow.
So I I
Yes.
I have it on the wall in my home office right here, and I think about
Mhm.
it all the time. So it is easier for us to build strong children, and this is a way for us to do this. Because if you think about those 12, there's some brokenness there,
Oh yeah.
and there's some healing that needs to take place. So the people in the room, the audience, there's healing that we all need in some regard, whichever character we identify with. So this is an opportunity to get young people to start healing, or we can start training them how to model
Yeah.
collaboration, decision making, dealing with stress and those types of things. So much bigger than a production. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where my brain went.
And certainly performing arts is one way that that can happen. And Sharon, something I'm gonna let her share because something happened since that production that a door opened for her, which was another opportunity. Uh, while we're contemplating and starting to build this performing arts youth camp, and so we just saw God uh, just bringing things together. And I'm gonna have Sharon share, but I just want to put this up here to let you know that that's one of our intent, our efforts is collaborating up on this rock with the Carl J. Guyton Memorial Scholarship Fund to bring together in collaboration these two organizations to launch this summer youth camp, and we're looking at 2027 as the launch date for that. Um, we're planning at the performances September 25th through the 27th that parents and youth will be able to that are interested that have an interest that will be able to register, basically saying I have an interest of either attending or being. We're looking at initially grades 4 to 12. I'm interested in it, be a part of it. Parents that you're interested in your children or your child being a part of it as well. you'll have an opportunity that weekend to register as we're making plans and finalizing all of the plans for what that summer youth performing arts camp is going to look like. That's going to happen at 12 Angry Jurors, September 25th, 26th, and 27th. Now, Sharon, tell us about your experience that is really adding to. We just know it's the wink and nod of God that says this is the direction that you need to go.
Exactly. Last year, as we were contemplating whether to pursue the Kyle Guyton Performing Arts Summer Performing Arts Camp, I vacillated because it takes time, it takes people, it takes resources, and then something happened. The school to which I am assigned, I was assigned last year and I returned this year, had never had a performing arts uh, class. They never had the theater as one of their specials or the electives, as they call them. And in talking to our dean of students, we started collaborating. She was able to attend of a couple of the productions, and it was like, this is something that we need at school. So she conferred with the director, and they were a little hesitant. Well, how would that work? How does that fit in with our academia, right? And so he relented. They relented. Of course, it had to go before a board, and I'm sure. And they gave opportunity last year. So I came in the middle of the year with this particular class. We did an all school play, and we teach grades K through 5. It's an elementary school. Great age, great age. And after that performance, and the director told me, this is one of the biggest parent draws that we've had. The attendance at this all school play, thank God for the church that allowed us to use their facility. We don't have um, a venue in our school, just a youth, when we're still young. So we reached out to the community, and they allowed us to bring the entire um, school, grades K through 5. They all participated in this performance, and it went off without a hitch.
Mm.
This year, we planned again, and I was given the green light today, and it's really so God. Today was the first day of theater.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, those kids, when they would see me in the hall, Miss Thompson, is it theater? Will we go to theater today? Their parents are excited. They are excited. And I just saw that as a perfect segue to reach our kids, because I'm telling you, if we can reach these children at the elementary age, then by the time they get to middle school, at least there's some hope that if we fail them at K through 5, K through 6, middle school and high school's a wrap. You're going to have to work overtime, or as Dr. Cantrell said, to try and repair this brokenness. But I see performing arts, I see theater in particular, as that door, that gateway to reaching our children and allowing them to express themselves. As again, as Dr. Cantrell was speaking, I thought about the theme, Pastor Hill: engage, enrich, expand. I see those three words in this today. Even in teaching, I'm able to start with the basics now. It's not just coming in mid-year, um, bringing a production and starting rehearsals. No, we're starting at ground zero. And three things I taught the students today in the 5 classes that I had. You have a toolbox, and in this toolbox, you're going to be able to create and understand this whole dynamic of theater. I'm saying from kinder to 4th grade is what we taught today. Tomorrow, we'll teach the second half. But I taught them that their body, their voice, and their imagination. What can you imagine yourself becoming?
Mm.
What can you imagine? And some of our kids come from various backgrounds, but to allow them to imagine themselves, Miss Thompson, I imagine myself as, I imagine I'm a superhero. I imagine, I mean, just, it is just so beautiful, but to open their little
Yeah.
imaginations
Yeah.
and to understand you can become. You have a body and you have a voice. So those three tools, it didn't cost them a dime. It didn't cost me a dime to even offer this to them. But you've already got the tools you need. Just like that water is that bottle,
Mm-hmm.
that analogy. You've got it inside of you, scholar. And the other part of that, when we talk about how are you going to bring the academics into this? Well, I had to teach them. Theater is a noun.
Mm.
It's a place and
Mm-hmm.
it's a thing. The
Mm-hmm.
place is the venue. The thing is the stage. Theater is a verb. A verb is movement. It is action. So see, you're bringing all of this into it, and it fits.
Oh, that's good.
It all fits. So that's
That's good.
yes.
You
So
know,
I'm excited. This
yeah.
is just day one, and I'm over the moon with it.
Well, we're certainly excited too because we understand that we're not only developing the performer, we're also developing the person. And as they
Yes.
come and they interact, and we know that the arts has a way of drawing our young people. You know, whether it's music, rap,
Mm-hmm.
acting, uh, instrumentation, whatever it is, it's a drawer. I was looking at on CNN today of the horrific earthquake that happened in Colombia.
Yes.
And what amazed me was a line of individuals that a lot of they didn't know each other, but they came to help and they lined up and they were as they were trying to with these pails removing debris because they're hearing voices underneath the rubble, and they were passing the buckets of rocks and debris along the line there trying to free someone together. They didn't know each other. They came together for a cause,
Mm-hmm.
and that cause, without them even thinking about it, they they weren't arguing, they weren't complaining. They knew we had a job to do, and that's to work together to accomplish one purpose. And I believe as we bring these young people together, just like are seeing happen on the stage with 12 Angry Jurors, different personalities, abilities, backgrounds, confidence levels, interests, communication styles, experiences, but they're all going to come together. And I just believe that we're using this tool of the performing arts is going to
Mm-hmm.
be very key in us accomplishing a purpose that Dr. Cantrell was so uh, uh, animated about
Mm-hmm.
at that production. And it really moved me. I said, he is really serious about this. Why? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's a serious
It was
matter
contagious.
and it's time to
Mm-hmm.
do it. So again,
Yeah.
I I want to put this back up again. The Kyle J. Guyton Youth Performing Arts Camp. It's going to take place in summer 2027. Right now, what we're doing is taking those who are interested, pre-registrations for those that just simply says, I'm interested as a youth or as a parent for the child. You'll be able to sign up the weekend of the 12 Angry Juror production, September 25th, 26th, 27th. It will take place in the UTR Dinner Theater located in the lower level of the Streams Church. That's 3425 Boulevard Place. Tickets are $25 for the show only. If you're interested in the full meal deal on the Saturday matinee and the Sunday final performance, you can enjoy a wonderful soul food dinner for $40 along with the show. So go online, utrpro.com/box office, and order your tickets for you. Not just you. You need to bring the whole gang in, your entire family.
Yes.
So that your next family reunion might be a lot better than the last one. And because now we understand one another. So get excited. I don't know about you, but I'm certainly excited about this. Sharon, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I was. I wanted to go back to something Dr. Cantrell alluded to, and the youth, how important this is that we reach our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about the recent headlines in East St. Louis. 15 and 16-year-olds that wipes out a family or multiple members of one family. See, the enemy is not playing.
No.
He's not playing. He wants our kids. He wants the seed, the carriers of the seed. He wants them at the age where their brains aren't even fully developed.
Yes.
Those children, their brains aren't fully developed. That prefrontal cortex is still developing. But if he could get them to do some horrific things without even understanding the consequences of it, who will reach them? Who's going to tell them? Isn't that what Marvin Winans says? Who's going to tell them that Jesus loves them?
Yeah.
Who's going to tell them there's a better way? And the better way, we're not preaching, but we're teaching to lead them into that better way. But the enemy is not stopping at the onesies and the twosies now. He's going for entire families.
Yes.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's hitting families in a major way. And so we want to do our part. What do you have in your hand? What are you able to do to reach these kids?
That's good. We got another comment that came in and said, as a volunteer, last year I did not want to go back to my post due to me being caught up in the play.
Wow.
Someone else said it was a great time. I bought 6 people last year. So it's going to be good, y'all. If you haven't seen it, and if you have seen it, now you know you need to bring some more people so that we can engage again into this wonderful dialogue. In a minute, we're going to have a final words from our guests that are here, but just another brief commercial.
What's the matter with you people? This kid is guilty, and he's got to burn. We're letting him slip through our fingers here.
Oh, our fingers? Oh, are you his executioner?
I'm one of them.
I bet you'd like to be the one to pull the switch.
For this kid, you better like to pull a switch.
I'm sorry for you.
Don't start with me.
I wonder what it would feel like to be the one pulling the switch.
Shut up.
You're a sadist.
Shut up.
You know what? want to see this boy die because you personally want it. Not because of the facts.
Shut up! Let me go! Let me go! I'll kill him! I'll kill him!
Oh, you don't mean you really kill me, do you?
The verdict is in, and the jury is back. Upon This Rock Productions proudly presents the return of the critically acclaimed courtroom drama, 12 Angry Jurors. September 25th through the 27th, experience one of the most powerful and thought-provoking productions ever to grace the UTR Dinner Theater, located in the lower level of the Streams Church. What begins as an open and shut case quickly becomes an emotional battle of truth, prejudice, mercy, and justice. As 12 jurors deliberate the fate of one young man, they soon discover that their own lives are on trial. Choose from show only or enjoy our popular dinner theater experience on Saturday and Sunday, featuring a delicious buffet meal served 1 hour before showtime. Tickets are on sale now. Reserve your seats today at utrpro.com/box office. Gather your family, friends, church group, co-workers, and neighbors for an unforgettable weekend of exceptional theater, outstanding performances, and conversations that continue long after the final curtain. 12 Angry Jurors. September 25th through the 27th. Presented by Upon This Rock Productions. The evidence has been heard. Now it's your turn to be in the room. Get your tickets today at utrpro.com/box office.
This was deep. And if you missed it, you should come back and watch it again and really pay attention. Yes, there's some funny stuff but really, really pay attention to what's happening. This needs to be broadcast because in our community, we need to see this. We need to talk.
Well, it's been a good evening. We've had some good conversation just talking about this upcoming production of 12 Angry Jurors, 12 Angry Jurors. And I just wanted to have some final words before we sign off. I see Sharon is taking a break, but Dr. Cantrell, you're still with us. Just any final words?
I'm still here.
Okay, you're in the dark.
I think I would encourage anyone who's able to view this podcast live or on repost. My challenge to you is to get a ticket and bring 2 other people with you. That's my challenge, and so I think this will be an experience that you will never forget. It changed me, and I believe it will change you and those within your spheres of influence.
That's good. In fact, I encourage you, don't just do, you can do a table, okay? In fact, you can get tables of 8 and tables of 10. If you get a table, we'll give you a 10% discount. How's that? All right? So if you call in to order your tickets, we'll have that up. Tell them I heard it on the podcast. I'm bringing a table, buying the entire table, and I want my 10% discount. We're going to make sure you get it. All right? All right, Sharon, again, let's see. See if we can get you back, get your mug back up again.
I just have my voice.
All right. Any final words you'd like to share?
No, I'll just leave this quote regarding anger. Someone said that anger is like grabbing a hot coal to throw at someone else, resulting in self-inflicted burns.
Wow. That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
But it's so
I'll
true.
add one thing. Bitterness is like setting yourself on fire and expecting the other person to die from smoke inhalation.
Right. Wow.
That's good.
That anger.
Yeah. So y'all hearing all this, and here's another reason why you want to make sure that you are part of 12 Angry Jurors. That's it. September 25th, 26th, 27th. in the UTR Theater. Get your tickets now. QR code is up there. You can scan it or go to utrpro.com/box office or call the UTR line 317-285-0511 0551. Let me get it right. 317-285-0551. And if you need to order it with the live operator, they can do that, and tell them, I watched the podcast, I'm purchasing a table, I want my 10% discount. All right. Dr. Cantrell, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Yes,
Thank you. This is awesome. Thank you so much. It was an honor.
We're excited about the collaboration with the Cal J. Guyton scholarship for the summer camp that's coming in 2027. And always, our executive director of Appointments Rock, Sharon Thompson, thank you for being who you are and continuing to bring to us what we need. Come on, to put a smile on our face and help us to work together. Have a blessed one. We'll see everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Varon.
No, thank you. It's an honor. Honor to be here. So have a great evening, everyone.
All right. God bless.
Do the same.
What's the matter with you people? This kid is guilty, and he's got to burn. We're letting him slip through our fingers here.
Oh, our fingers? Oh, are you his executioner?
I'm one of them.
I bet you'd like to be the one to pull the switch.
For this kid, you bet I'd like to pull the switch.
I'm sorry for you.
Don't start with me.
I wonder what it would feel like to be the one pulling the switch.
Shut up.
You're a sadist.
Shut up.
You know what? You want to see this boy die because you personally want it. Not because of the facts.
Shut up! Let me go! Let me go! I'll kill him! I'll kill him!
Oh, you don't mean you really kill me, do you?
The verdict is in, and the jury is back. Upon This Rock Productions proudly presents the return of the critically acclaimed courtroom drama, 12 Angry Jurors. September 25th through the 27th, experience one of the most powerful and thought-provoking productions ever to grace the UTR Dinner Theater, located in the lower level of the Streams Church. What begins as an open and shut case quickly becomes an emotional battle of truth, prejudice, mercy, and justice. As 12 jurors deliberate the fate of one young man, they soon discover that their own lives are on trial. Choose from show only or enjoy our popular dinner theater experience on Saturday and Sunday, featuring a delicious buffet meal served 1 hour before showtime. Tickets are on sale now. Reserve your seats today at utrpro.com/boxoffice. Gather your family, friends, church group, co-workers, and neighbors for an unforgettable weekend of exceptional theater, outstanding performances, and conversations that continue long after the final curtain. 12 Angry Jurors. September 25th through the 27th. Presented by Upon This Rock Productions. The evidence has been heard. Now it's your turn to be in the room. Get your tickets today at utrpro.com/boxoffice.
This was deep. And if you missed it, you should come back and watch it again and really pay attention. Yes, there's some funny stuff but really, really pay attention to what's happening. This needs to be broadcast because in our community, we need to see this. We need to talk